Welcome back to the channel. This is FPL Extreme. In this video, I'll be talking about my Game Week 2 team selection and I'll also discuss my Game Week 1 team performance. Talking about my Game Week 1, I got 99 points. I feel this was a decent game week. I felt there were a lot more points on the offering, but I somehow didn't take them. But 99 points from a single game week is still a decent output. Average score for Game Week 1 was 69 points, and I think this was one of the highest average scores that we had for Game Week 1 in last few years, at least last 5 to 6 years. And coming to my team, I had a Liverpool-centered defense. I had two defenders from Liverpool, and there were only in fact 5 teams who kept clean sheet in Game Week 1, and Liverpool was one of them. So I got 12 points from 2 Liverpool defenders. And apart from that, there wasn't anything else. Luke Shaw got booked at the end of the game. And of course, Man United didn't keep a clean sheet. So he returned with only 1 point. He was the highest owned player in Game Week 1. Now coming to the midfield, I had Bruno Fernandes, Salah and Greenwood in my team. Bruno Fernandes of course scored a hat-trick. He got 20 points. Salah scored 1 goal and got 2 assists. And Greenwood got a goal, and I think he should have got 1 more assist or maybe few more attacking returns. So my midfield contributed a lot to my Game Week 1 score. Now coming to my front line, I had Antonio, Ings and Tony. Antonio of course missed that penalty, but he still got a goal and 2 assists. So 13 points is his return, and Danny Ings scored that penalty at the end of the game. He returned with 7 points. So overall Game Week 1 was a decent one, 99 points. It's not bad for first game week. Now coming to Game Week 2, if I look at fixtures for Game Week 2 and 3, I still feel that Aston Villa have got 2 good fixtures. They have Newcastle and Brentford at home. And this was one of the reasons I went with an Aston Villa defender in Game Week 1 itself. Now, looking at Aston Villa's performance from first game week, they conceded 13 shots against Watford and 7 out of those 13 shots were on target. And 7 shots on target was the second highest shot on target number for the game week. Only Man United got 8 shots on target. Otherwise, all the other teams managed 7 or less. So this is something which worries me right now. The Aston Villa defense did not look good. And of course, if I look at the second game week, they have Newcastle at home, and Newcastle in the first game, they also managed around 17 shots and 3 out of those 17 were on target. So this is something which I have to figure out now. I went with Aston Villa defender as my 4th defender because I preferred playing 4-3-3 in first game week, and I thought this would be my strategy for first 3 game weeks because like I said, Aston Villa got good fixtures to start with. So in Game Week 2, if I decide to switch from Aston Villa defense, I think there are not many options that I feel that I have right now. Maybe Man City is the obvious choice. They have got Norwich at home. But apart from that, Chelsea have got Arsenal, Liverpool and Spurs at home. And of course, after that, they also play Man City. And again, Man City have got Arsenal in their next game, and then they play Leicester. And after 2 weeks, they again have Chelsea away from home. So if I have to change from wings, I don't see a lot of choices at the moment right now. And another reason for that is Man City is playing Norwich City at home this game week, and this looks like a good fixture. This looks like this fixture should result in multiple goals, and I do not have a single Man City player right now. And if I have to get Jack Grealish or Riyad Mahrez, then one of the reasons that I cannot get them is I do not have the money in the bank to get any of them unless I decide to transfer Greenwood out, which I won't be doing. So I do not have a lot of options. I cannot take any of them. So I need to figure out a way to manage those points which I might be losing if Man City starts scoring for fun against Norwich. And this is the reason that I felt that I should not be using my free transfer on a defender. Maybe a midfielder or a forward would be a better choice for this game week. Now coming to the midfielders, these are the players who had good Game Week 1. Some of those players did not give any attacking returns, but they had a good Game Week 1. The 3 at the bottom are particularly interesting. Sa, Benrahma and Traore, they had good numbers from Game Week 1. Sa had 8 attacking penalty area touches and Benrahma had 6. Sarr again managed 3 shots just like Benrahma, and their shot creating actions were also good. Salah of course had 14 attacking penalty area touches, and that number is not bettered by anyone else in game week 1. But these 3 players at the bottom, they are particularly interesting. They all are priced at 6 million, and Watford played against Aston Villa. That game had 5 goals. Same with Benrahma, he played against Newcastle and that game had 6 goals. Also, Sarr and Benrahma, it looked like they both passed the eye test. They both look in great touch, and it looked like they will give some more attacking outputs. But for this game week, I already have a West Ham attacker in Antonio, and West Ham play Leicester City at home. So I do not want to develop on West Ham at this moment. So I'm not going for Benrahma at this point. Of course, he becomes a good option going forward. Maybe from game week 3, he has got some good fixtures. But I'm not ruling these players out. So these are the players that I will keep an eye on. I'll probably get at least one of them after game week 4. They have some good fixtures after game week 4, after game week 3 rather. Now finally, coming to forwards. Jamie Vardy managed 6 shots, and 3 of those 6 were target. He managed to score a goal. Antonio, of course, we all know he missed that penalty, but he still scored a goal and gave 2 assists. Danny Ings, I felt, had a pretty flat game, but he still managed to score that penalty late in the game. But looking at the 3 names at the bottom, Richarlison, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Dennis. Dennis, again, just like his teammate Sarr, managed a good game. If you look at his shot creating actions, he has managed 9 shot creating actions in first match against Aston Villa, and I think that's the highest for any player in game week 1. And so this is one player that I'll definitely keep an eye on. Going forward, I feel that there are a lot more premium players like Kane and Lukaku would be available at some point, and I feel that to get these players, we need to have some cheaper options, and I think Dennis is someone I'll keep an eye on. Looking at Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Dominic Calvert-Lewin managed 5 shots and 2 of those were on target. He of course scored that goal. Richarlison managed a goal and an assist. Now Everton will play against Leeds United, and I expect this to be a lot more open game. Maybe there are a lot more goals in this game. And looking at how Everton played in first game week, I think those are some encouraging signs. And I had Dominic Calvert-Lewin in my final draft for game week 1, and when he missed that final preseason game versus Man United, and also Everton had some issues with COVID cases in their camp, so that's the reason I decided to remove Dominic Calvert-Lewin and I switched to Toney. That also allowed me to keep 2 million in my bank, which I can use now in game week 2. Like I said, I see Everton versus Leeds United a good fixture. This fixture could have some goals, and I think out of Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Calvert-Lewin looks like a more direct option. So I'm going with Dominic Calvert-Lewin as my transfer for game week 2. I'm going back to my preferred game week 1 final draft where I had Dominic Calvert-Lewin instead of Toney. So in game week 2, I will be transferring Toney out for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So this is how I expect my game week 2 team to look like, and if I do not have any other injury concerns, then I'm expecting to go ahead with this transfer. I'll transfer Toney out for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and there will be another video uploaded for the captaincy picks. So for now, this is how the team looks.